Round 2, and we're gearing up here on the ShowCourt with Bar TV for the under-23s. We've just seen the opens in the Eastwood Ride Hawks and Stingrays battle it out, where the Hawks came out on top 65-46, and now it's the youngsters' turn, the under-23s. I'm Brittany Carter. Joining me in the expert chair again is former English defender Sonia McCloma. Sonia, we are freezing in here. You got your scarf and mittens on?
I know, it's definitely winter. I'm expecting Christmas to come now.
Now we'll run through the sides quickly as we wait for them to ready to get the first centre pass underway. For the Eastwood Ride Hawks, Jenny Webster, their coach, has got Alicia Cairns in goal shooter, Rhiannon Stokes partnering her with goal attack, Hannah Cullen wing attack, Monique Clifton centre, Leilani Roweda rounds out their midcourt and wing defence. Then we've got Catherine Tavaga coming across from the Panthers in the off-season, their captain tonight in goal defence, and pairing with her the keeper, Anna Afoa. Now for the Sutherland Stingrays, Craig Marsh, their head coach, has got Elise Coolin in goal shooter, Shelby Mallon in goal attack, Bianca Jom in wing attack, Sarah Hewitt-Bell in centre, Celine Chaudhry in wing defence, Alex Bolton in goal defence, and Zoe Yans in goalkeeper. So the Hawks will kick us off with the first centre pass. Stokes is out for it straight away. Body's down, but it looks like Clifton's going to be okay. Stokes under the post, very confident. Looks like she's ready to stamp her authority on this match, Sonia.
Yeah, easy feed into her right now, so the defender's going to have to start tightening up straight away. I think we just gave her a bit too much space to start off.
Now this Stingray squad is a very young side. They had 6 players debut in Premier League last week, which is massive considering we're in our 4th season here.
Yeah, so they would have been doing a lot of work in the off-season. And great shot, Shelby Mallon, who's just played in the Open.
Yeah.
So just dropping back to under-23s.
She just nailed that shot, and we mentioned before in the Opens coverage that there's a new rule in Premier League this year where you can only play 4 quarters the whole night. So she's already played half a game with the Opens, which means she's limited in this under-23s match to half a game too. Jom to Mallon. Oh, fingertips at the back.
Yeah, nearly picked up by Afoa. Oh, and Afoa for the rebound, and that's lucky it's gone the way of the Hawks. I thought Afoa touched that last.
Hawks throw in to Varga. Finds Clifton. Coming back to Afoa.
Oh, contact call. That was lucky for the Hawks. They were struggling to get the ball out of their defence end at that point.
Tavaga ball sails over the head of Roweda and ends up with the Stingrays. They lose possession.
Yeah, just overcooked by the defender, Tavaga. So they're going to have to work to win that one back. Oh, great touch by Clifton and picked up by Tavaga.
Out of play. Umpires called it. The officials on this match, Monique O'Callaghan and Stephen Jackson. The reserve, Sarah Hay.
Maddie Hayes' sister, maybe? No.
Possibly. Possibly. Perhaps I get a little look at it.
Good defensive pressure by the Stingrays, putting Eastwood under all sorts of pressure.
Cullen coming back to Clifton. Stokes finds Cullen in the pocket. Nice bounce pass. They're going to try. Oh, no, they're going to swing again.
So ball back to the pocket, so they're trying to set up the triangles and entry in. So just a penalty given away by Zoe Yance. Zoe Yance actually played for North Shore United last season, was out most of the season with an injury, so it's good to see her back on the court playing.
So she's their most experienced player, the oldest one they've got in this side. And they're really going to draw on her at the back to get them through this. Cullen in the air for that centre pass. Roweda finds Clifton on the edge of the goal third. Now Cullen tries to feed into Cairns. Cairns has played Premier League with the Hawks since its inception.
Oh, miss under the post, nearly rebound, but between Stokes and Cairns, they're the tallest in the circle. So Zoe and Alex Bolton have got a lot of jumping to be doing this game.
Chaudhry, I should say, sorry. Over the top now, shooter. Coolin swings the circle. They try to find Mallon, but Afoa, she's creating havoc for them at the back.
Yeah, and again, it's interesting because Tavaga and Afoa, again, two shortest defenders in the circle. So That might be why they had the tall camps. That was a question you asked earlier, so that might be why, because there's no tall defenders coming through. Great ball in from Clifton into Cairns.
Jan's called offside. And Cairns takes the Hawks out by 3 goals, 5-2, early on in this round 2 match of the Premier League. Nice matchup between those two shooters. Stingrays in front, confident. So Monique Clifton with the ball now. Has come from the GWS Fury over to the Hawks during the off-season. There's been a lot of player movement actually with the under-23s being brought in this year. It was previously under-20s.
Yeah, I guess everyone's just trying to find their home, and I guess now they've opened it up to under-23s. You're going to be in a team for much longer, so hopefully they've all settled this season. Great shot by Alicia Cairns under the post.
Quick work, Mallon bounces to John. Oh, trying to come into the circle. To Varga's court. She'll have to hang outside.
Good feed in by John.
Coolin puts the ball up through the net.
Those are great arms by Sarah Howard-Bell. You can see a massive height difference between Clifton and Bell in there. Like, to get a tall centre is very unusual. So let's see how she actually manages working against a smaller centre. Yeah,
her coach described her as a 6-foot blonde, so I definitely did not expect her to play centre.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great feed and movement.
She actually used to be a goal attacker and a goal shooter and was quite effective there, but has been working a lot on her fitness apparently. She runs the sand dunes at Kurnell every Sunday. Jeez, it would be cold in this winter.
Yeah, good legs for that. So good hands by Chardonnay in the wing defence position.
Jan's caught outside with the penalty, and it means Stokes is on her own at the back. They elect to go to Cairns at the front instead, and she'll just edge towards underneath that post and have a second crack at it.
Yeah, and I think it's important for the defenders, now that the two shooters are, there is definitely a height difference, to make sure they do box out, and hopefully they're in there is a missed shot so the shooters don't get a second crack at it. Oh, misread the pass by Bianca Johns.
Ball won by Tavaga, the captain leading by example. Bolton comes up with it though, and the Stingrays edge up towards their goalpost. Into Shelby Mallon now, who tries to feed, and the ball ends up with a foa.
Oh, well in by Jobs.
Jobs.
That is great speed and a great pass to Shelby Mallon under the post, who puts it away.
Intercept, footwork, and a feed. Talented, all in that one
spot. All in the first 10 seconds. We're like, oh.
Waste some talent for later on. So
yeah, I know. We'll see how she goes as the game progresses.
Rowita to take the penalty. She comes into Cullen. On the edge, Clifton now finds Stokes. Edging in from the pocket, they find Cairns.
And that's an
easy
easy
front of the
feed.
post.
Yeah, Clifton's very comfortable. So Howard Bell's going to have to put a bit more pressure on her and her feed and just really get in the vision of her line.
We were talking about this in the Opens match, Sonia, about how sometimes in the midcourt, if you're taller, it can actually be really hard to defend because your player you're up against is actually short and quite zippy.
Yes, you've got to be very smart in what you do with your hands and, you know, the pressure you put on, and also your footwork and your movement in defence.
Stokes, a long ball. It ends up with Cairns.
Yeah, Yank's being caught on the wrong side, but again, Cairns is missing under the post, so, you know, defences need to wise up to this and try and get in there for those rebounds so she doesn't get that second shot.
To be that close and missing, is she just a bit nervous early on, or what do you think it is?
Yeah, and I think sometimes shooters put themselves under the post, but it's actually a hard angle of the shot to kind of hook it up over the post and not hit the bottom of the ring. So I think that position is definitely too crammed under. That's great defensive pressure and good footwork by Afoa to cause a turnover.
Afoa with the baseline throw in. Tavaga goes cross court. Rowita finds Clifton. Quick work now. They're already in the midcourt. Now in the goal third. In the pocket. Stokes leaps in and at the same time gives away the ball.
Well, that was lucky for Bolton because that was going to be a turnover. She took that penalty way too quick before her team were ready. So let's see if Stingrays can actually capitalise on this. Howard Bell to Bolton to Chardonnay. Oh, she just overcooks the pass again. And offside, wing defence. Goal defence.
So the great thing about the under-23s category, which was previously under-20s, as we mentioned, is that it's so unpredictable. There's just a lot of raw talent here, so you just never know what's quite going to happen. Running back with the drive is Cullen, and she just waits till Cairns finds some space and nails that goal.
Yeah, and that was a better shot by Cairns. And like you said, she wasn't stuck under the post, so she had a bit more room to line up that shot.
Cullen with a great dodge on the centre pass, now on the edge of the circle.
And that's a great feed by Cullen. Very smart the way she hooked the ball out and round. So she'll definitely be one to watch as the game progresses.
So she comes from Newcastle. Clifton has to come to Cullen. And now Stokes a little way up. It looks confident enough to put the shot up. Ball pops out and into the Stingrays' hands, and Yans leads them from the back.
So let's see if they can get, a bit of a dangerous pass, putting the ball back into the circle, nearly got tipped up.
It's almost like passing in front of the net when you're playing soccer, isn't it?
Yeah,
you don't want to be playing with fire like that. Running out is Coolin.
Yeah, that's a great attack in by Chardonnay. I'm calling her Chardonnay, and I think it's actually
Chowdhury. Chadrawi, sorry. Sorry. Chadrawi, rather. Clifton to Rodriguez. Cullen with a little fake. Finds herself some room to take the pass.
Oh, and that was better positioning by Zoe Yads, expecting that pass. So she's finding herself in the front position to contest the ball into Cairns. So she got the reward, was rewarded with that one, with the turnover.
Oh, almost nails the shot. It just comes over the back line and Hawks will get a throw in. We've seen the Stingrays lose the ball a couple of times just before they're at that chance to take the shot, Sonia. So that defence at the back, the last line of defence, as we call it, is really working for the Stingrays.
And Afoa and Tavaga are doing a great defensive pressure, and I think the Stingrays defenders have just started to grow and combine better as the game's going on.
So that was a very loopy attempt of a shot from Mallon. Are you saying that defenders will shine in this game?
Well, I think they are so far. Like Afoa and Tavaga are the smallest ones in there, and they're putting them all under pressure. You know, Shelby, I guess, just dropped back from the opens where she had a lot more room, whereas now I think they're struggling a little bit, and Coolan's just struggling to find space as well, so they're doing a great job.
Cross court, and now with the feed.
Yeah, again, another touch by Afoa, so she's getting up there. So Eliza Cullen's going to have to, or Coolan's going to have to hold her space for a bit longer, just coming off the hold.
Hawks centre. Cullen forces her way through. And there's an obstruction call on both mid-quarters from the Stingrays. Stokes feeding to Cairns. That one comes off nicely. Jenny Webster giving some strong.
Yes, you can hear Jenny Webster on the side. Turnover. Obviously it worked. So just giving the girls a lot of direction. And I guess, like you said, this is only round 2, so, you know, as a coach as well, your team's settling in. So some of the stuff you've worked on during training and all that whole pre-season, you want to see it executed in the earlier rounds. So I think that's what she doesn't know which foot she's...
One-handed grab from Stokes.
Yeah, was unsure what foot to put down.
One hand, one foot. Clifton feeds. Cairns finds it over the back.
Yeah, just over the head of Zoe Yance. So Zoe Yance is just going to have to get off the ground a little bit more, and I think she's getting a bit stuck on the body, so she might have to give herself a bit more space and a bit of a run up to contest these balls in.
Oh, ball comes off Shelby Mallon's knees. So In previous years, Sonia, the coaches have always been on the other side of the court, but we're all lined up together now, which means that we can really get a good insight into what's happening here. So this Hawks coaching bench seems very vocal.
Yes, and they're giving the girls a lot of direction, whereas down at the Stingrays bench it's quite quiet. So it's interesting to see.
Pensive, rather.
Yeah, and the Hawks are up now by 4 goals. So another easy transition into the circle and a connection again by Stokes and Cairns.
14-9. We've got 1 minute left in this opening quarter of round 2 in the under-23s. Oh, John loses the ball, but should get it back with a penalty here. Now they use the pocket. Feeding over the top, Mallon.
Steps in and misses. So probably didn't need to step in. Probably could have taken her time to take that shot. You got 40 seconds, so plenty of time.
Now, to get some insight from you about Super Netball, it's not often we see coaches yelling out during the game in that elite level.
No, I think it's 50-50. I think you do see coaches do yell out. I just think the difference is with a crowd of nearly 5,000 to 10,000 people, you actually can't hear them anyway. And, so the coaches wait the timing of when it goes silent to yell out instructions to players as well. So at times players pretend they can't hear, so you just yell a bit louder. So, and now with Super Netball, they've actually got the box where you can actually walk around. Oh, again, a nice interception of footwork by Afoa. So she's been doing great at the back end in stopping the delivery of the balls coming into Cullen.
So the difference is for, at the first break, the Hawks up over the Stingrays. Who are you liking so far, Sonia?
Definitely the Hawks backhand. I think they are small, but Afoa and Tavaga are getting heaps of ball, putting them under all sorts of pressure. And, that shows in the score by being, up by 4.
All right, well, we're going to take a break here while the players get a chatting to at the first break, and we'll be back to call the second quarter and all the action then. silent. All right, our mics are back on. We had some problems with the lever there. The Hawks leading the Stingrays by 5 goals at the moment, and we saw some changes made in the break. We've seen Emma Smith come on in goalkeeper for the Stingrays, and also Lavana Wayne-Ball's been brought on in goal defence for the Eastwood Ride Hawks. What do you make of those changes, Sonia?
Yeah, I think they're just getting a bit high. Zoe Yance has moved out to goal defence, so I'm assuming they're trying to get more pressure and bringing the ball through the court, but also a bit more height in the back end of it. So Smith seems a little bit taller.
John?
Oh, great
fakes.
Yeah, 2 fakes, and it did open up the defenders. So new defender on in Wayne Boyle. And good rebound.
Coolin misses the shot, and the Hawks end up with possession. Oh, 2 long balls coming over the top. Cullen now to Stokes, and Cairns just finds some space at the back.
Yeah, and that was better holding and positioning by Cairns to hold and patience in there.
Oh, comes off the tips and over the side after the centre pass. It's a bit of a coach killer, that one, Sonia.
Yeah, Bianca Jobs just couldn't hold on to it, so I'm sure she's going to work hard to get the ball back if she could see the ball. So she's just facing and defending away, so she'll just change her angles a little bit. Good hands pressure by Chadari. So causes a turnover and puts her under pressure.
Chadrawi. We'll get there. We're so sorry, Celine. I'm just as bad as you, Sonia, don't worry.
Call her Celine. a great attacking down the court by Celine.
John feeds straight to Malin. And they're really going to have to make use of Malin while they've got her before she has to come off. Clifton with the Hawks centre pass. Cullen straight out. Stokes now has to come back to the transverse line. Clifton now on the edge.
Yeah, Clifton's getting onto the edge quite easily at the moment. So Howard Bell's going to have to do a bit more work on her, keeping her off the edge because she's a good feeder.
Thought that ball might have popped over the side, but it did sink through in the end. John, again with that fake. Oh, tries to give the ball to Malin and Afua. It bounced off her head and she almost lost it.
Yeah, and that was better defensive pressure by the Hawks. Let's see, hope they can keep the ball, see who gets it. Well picked up by Cullen.
Oh, another call?
So Cairns is injured, so she's coming off.
She's holding on to her back, which isn't good. Hope she's all right. Instead, Delilah Coley's come on to goal shooter. She's been with Eastwood Ride for 3 years, so she knows what she's doing at the back. A little bit less height. Hoping Cairns is okay. Clifton to Cullen. Coming back. Strong pass to Coley. Clifton's in everything.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely one to slow down, so
top of the circle.
Touch on that.
And the triangle's complete as Stokes, the ball comes just off the top. Hands of the Stingrays give it back to
Cullen, but turns over. Footwork call. Oh, that was quite smart by Cullen. Not yet set, though. A big swing ball to Celine, way over Cook. So good pressure defensively by the Hawks.
They threw it to the umpire instead. Wayne Boyle brought on court with the ball. Rodweeder to Clifton. Now Wayne Boyle over the top. Ball just bounces before Cullen gets possession. Now Clifton to Stokes coming out of the circle. They swing. And Coley, they try to give it to her, but Smith has none of it.
Yeah, great touches by Smith. So bringing her on has been a great advantage for Stingray. Let's hope they can capitalise on this. The score's up. They're up by 6, down by 6 currently. So let's see if they can put this one away.
John on the edge, tries to go 1-2 with Coolin, but Rodweeder disrupts them. John with another chance here to feed. Malin, split stance, grabs the ball overhead and sinks it through. 17-12. Again, that 5-goal buffer just sticking with the Hawks. Long pass that goes through the legs.
Yeah, great pick up by Johns. That was a very dropping pass by Shelby. Steps in. Told to set her shot by the umpire. A bit erratic at the moment, so both teams just needed to calm down a little bit. That was a bit of a fadeaway shot by Shelby there, walking away. Very confident. Good on her.
Wayne ball to Cullen. Coley's come outside. Now Clifton can't get it to Stokes, has to come back to the transverse line to reset.
Yeah, that looks like that was going to be 3 seconds there. So good defensive pressure again by the Stingrays. Let's see if they can capitalise on it. Good touch.
Really good matchup between John and Rodweeder.
Yeah.
And she's been pulled up out of play in the midcourt. So Chad Rory to take the pass. John, again, using that fake. She's good with the ball. And now a long way up. Mallon can't sink the shot. Oh, almost gets a rebound.
Stingrays get a second shot at it.
Nice lean from Afoa. She's really killing it tonight.
It's interesting because I don't know if you guys can hear, but in our left there, you can hear the coaches for the Eastwood Rye. They're playing every play with the girls, even down to marking the shot, so they're getting very involved here.
Some strong constructive criticism coming their way from Jenny Webster.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because I think, as going through like this, I'm going through this targeted coach program and being told, making sure the information you're giving to the players is actually stuff that they can hear.
Yeah.
And who knows whether they can hear at their end of the court, but we'll see.
I think she's loud enough. I think they might. Chad Rowry to Hewitt Bell. There's a step, though, from Chad Rowry as she gets the ball back. And so Hawks with an opportunity.
Yeah, another wasted opportunity by the Stingrays who are trying to nip back at the score. So the score is still 5, and I think Stingrays, just going to be a bit more steady, a bit more patient with the ball.
Cullen and Coley popping into the same hole, but it pays off. They go 1-2.
Yeah, better defense movement inside the circle, bringing on Smith with Yance. So they're creating lots of space, creating deceiving and cutting off the space of the shooters. Good hold by Cowley to call the contact. Getting tongue twisted here.
And it's our second game. We should be warmed up.
No, I think it's because we're cold. My tongue's frozen, guys.
Mallon to Hewitt Bell. Chad Rowry back into that goal third. This time Coolin tries to go low with John. And now finds a good time to take that little push back. If anything, it probably could have gone the other way in that scenario. With the call, Mallon.
That was a good, smart shooter pass by Colin.
Stingrays with another. Oh no, sorry, that is a Hawks centre.
Good defensive effort by Stingrays, forcing the Hawks to go back.
Mallon called up for instruction.
Yeah, and I think it's important when teams are playing catch-up that they bring in the discipline. So I think right now Stingrays who are playing catch-up are a little bit undisciplined at the moment and just need to adjust slightly to what the umpires are calling. Because I think the Hawks are making mistakes, but because of the penalties, then, they're not having an opportunity to capitalise on it.
Cullen bounces the ball off Coley's foot and it goes out the sideline.
So let's see if Stingrays can actually use this. Another opportunity.
Hewitt Bell to Chad Rowry. John with a free pass here. She finds Coolin just inside and up and over they go to Mallon. Grabs it, gives it to John at the top. And now they're in front, the Stingrays.
That was a great triangle by the Stingrays, and that was good for Johns to get to that top to open up that circle. So Stingrays sent a pass.
The other thing too, with each umpire call, Coolin was getting closer to the post, so really using that to their advantage. Again, looking to feed shooter to shooter. Shelby, not really an option, and it ends up with the Hawks in the pocket.
Yeah, just a bad decision, I guess, by Coolin in that. I think she should have gone to post, which should have drawn the defenders back, but they've got the turnover, so let's see if they can use it.
Chad Rowie to Hewitt Bell. John. Oh, too quick with the feed. It sails just in front of Shelby Mallon, in front of her.
Yeah, so again, Stingrays are back on, trying to win ball back. So this is good defense, just in by Howard Bell. Contact call.
Afoa. Now Clifton in the middle. Wayne Bell to Stokes. In the pocket, Cullen.
Good defensive pressure with Smith. Well done, and she gets the ball.
Nice intercept as she yells out, settle. So she comes up with the play that turns the ball over and then tries to get everyone to settle down.
Yeah, because the ball's gone back and forth, and then that again, just a misplaced pass. So let's see if Cullen can get this goal. Nearly touched by Afoa. Oh, I just need to settle on that shot.
I'll probably describe this quarter a little bit chaotic. I mean, that's probably why it's been toing and froing so much, because one team is struggling to hang on to possession.
Yeah, just a bit frantic. And, as Stingrays, they've brought the score back within 3. So they're actually getting lots of turnovers this quarter. So they just need to take care of it and see if they can capitalise on it with a goal and reward all these balls they're getting.
Coley using Clifton on the edge. This time the ball doesn't go out. They did use her foot again to pass. Stokes outside the circle, can't give it to Coley. She's too heavily guarded. And Clifton has to fake. But it does end up with her in the end.
Yeah, Zoe got a hand on it, just couldn't control it and bring it in. So good patience by Eastwood Ride to get the goal from that.
Mallon to Jom. Coolin. Coming back to Jom too.
Yeah, and Jom's a little lefty there, so making good use of her space. So you can see the defenders marking on the right-hand side, the wrong side of her, so which is giving her easy access on that pass.
Well, certainly in other sports like cricket, a left hand can be a real advantage. So what does it do for you in netball, Sonia?
Yeah, I think it is an advantage because I think, the right-hand stuff, so where the defenders mark and we put our hands over pressure. Good pressure by Celine. So let's see again, another opportunity for Stingrays to lessen the scores.
Oh, nice work, shooter to shooter, and Coolin, cool as you like, takes the Stingrays to 18.
Yeah, 2 the difference.
Mallon to Jom, jumping in the air. They swing.
Cullen runs the baseline, which opens up Shelby on the baseline. And finished, score within 1, so the pressure is on now on Eastwood Ride.
1 goal difference, so that 5-goal buffer that they had for quite a while, the Hawks, has almost gone. Can they take it back out to 2? Coley bouncing to Cullen at the top. She doesn't have a clear path to the post.
Yeah, and I think the movement by the defenders in Smith and Yance in the circles, the feeders are unsure of where the space is to their shooters.
Ooh.
Big shot.
Wow. Oh, does it not count?
Umpires played advantage penalty outside, so no goal. He already called the penalty.
But is it really advantage if they lose out on the goal? No?
That is the question that we continue to ask. But at least Eastwood Ride get the goal in anyway.
Hewitt Bell to Mallon. Oh no, there's a bit of a mix-up.
Yeah, misread by Mallon in the space. So again, Stingrays just need to treasure the ball a bit more.
2 minutes till half-time. Rowita just looking over the arms of Jom. She's pulled up for obstruction. There's been a lot of obstruction calls in this game so far. Oh, Hewitt Bell hitting the deck. Slippery court tonight. There might be some residue from the cold weather. Coley, no look pass to Stokes. That was pretty cool. And a long way out. She nails it. Long bump through the hoop.
We will come back to the residue comment.
You think I'm talking crap?
There's some dew on the court.
Well, we've seen a couple of girls slip over tonight. We have, probably 3 or 4.
Yeah, but that's from the sweat, the dripping sweat
creating
of the 20s. Yeah, creating dew.
Stokes a fair way out. Oh, this time doesn't quite get there. And Yans comes up with it. The Stingrays, a change in possession.
Yeah, Stokes got confident on the long shot, so good on her. So let's see if they can get the ball back. 3 the difference. Oh, 2 shooters running away from Jom. He's one of the smallest attackers out there, so she probably needs someone coming towards her.
Coolin steps in. The ball just drops over the edge. And now we're only at 2, Sonia, so the Stingrays really have a chance to make it even closer here.
Yeah, this is a great quarter by the Stingrays. Oh, Joms was just inside the third. I think her foot was tiptoeing on that line off that centre pass. So let's see if Stingrays can capitalise on this.
Holding time, there's 18 seconds left before half time.
Plenty of time to get a goal, an interception, and then another goal by the Stingrays. Let's see if they can do it. Badly placed ball by Howard Bell. Straight into the arms of the defender.
Yeah, Coolan definitely wasn't ready. But with 6 seconds left to play, there's only one difference, Sonia.
So attackers trying to rush their mid-court up.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they were just trying to hurry them up to take the centre pass. So Clifton was very smart there with the ball and just took her time into the circle. So it should be Hawks centre pass after half-time.
All right, well, the Stingrays really coming back in that quarter, scoring 11 goals. So you'd think that that change for Emma Smith into keeper was a really good one.
Yeah, it was a smart change. It made the defensive circle much bigger, and Eastwood Ride were then struggling to find their shooters.
So Stingrays outscoring the Hawks 11-8 in that quarter. Now, we're also going to talk about ANL, Sonia, because you're very involved with that, with the New South Wales Waratahs. How do you think they're going at the moment?
Oh, I know we're going very well.
Right.
Currently, so off the back of 2 wins on the weekend against Tasmania Magpies, the Waratahs are now sitting second behind Victoria Fury. So the weekend was a great tussle. We won the first game just by 1.
54-53.
Yeah, and then we won the second game by 4. So, by 6.
No,
you're
right. Go with your gut. Yeah.
I know. I was
Don't
like,
look at my messy notes. They're throwing you off.
By 4, and it was, was a gutsy effort by the girls to hold off a very tenacious Tasmania Magpies team and also to put us into second position. So we're sitting well.
Well, this time last week we were talking about why Tasmania and Victoria were dominating the competition because Tassie were above the Waratahs heading into that. So a really good coup for them to beat them twice back to back.
Yeah, and I think that's been the thing about the ANL season is backing it up for teams to win one the Saturday and then again perform on the Sunday. So the fact that our girls were able to do that was definitely much credit to them, and I think the pressure was definitely on them. The bodies came out from the Tasmanian Magpies and our girls held strong. So I think for us to take that second one was very important, especially where it sits us on the table.
Now, the Canberra Giants in the ANL also had 2 wins over South Australia, 50-46 in the first game and 44-42 in their second game last weekend. But this week, New South Wales are headed to Queensland to face the Queensland Fusion, who are currently in 6th place. How do you think they're going to go up against them, Sonia?
I think we should win. We should win both games. We're hoping to win both games. Obviously, we don't take anything for granted. So, it's about putting in systems and putting in practices. Queensland Fusion can win. So we've just to make sure we do all the right things. But I think, match for match and man for man, we're actually a better, stronger team. So for us, the pressure is now on the girls to do that on the Saturday and the Sunday. So obviously our game is following the Swifts game when they play the Firebirds. So hopefully some of the Swifts girls might be able to drop back. Which has been happening with some of the games, depending on the timing of it. So it'd be good to see if any of the Swifts girls drop back into the team, which then obviously does strengthen our ANL team more.
And which players are you talking about, like your Halpins?
Well, we've got Halpin, we've got Amara Rangi, who's been playing up and sitting on the Swifts bench for the last couple of rounds due to Sophie Garvin's injury.
Made her debut last week?
Yeah, she did. She got on the court, she did a great job, so got to cheer her on. So, yes, hopefully, I guess for them, you always want them to get on the SSN game, but if not, we actually do want them to come back and drop back to the ANL, into the ANL environment. So it'll be a good one.
And the Canberra Giants this week are over in Perth playing the Western Sting. Now, they're currently 7th, so Canberra Giants in 4th spot, really in a good position for that too. Yeah,
definitely. And the Canberra Giants on the back of that, they had an injury this week with, I think it was Amy Sliger fracturing her wrist during one of their games, their second game against South Australia on Sunday, so she'll be out for 4 to 5 weeks. But I still think Giants should do a good job against Western Sting. Western Sting are a good team, and again, they're a team who are hard to beat at home.
So Western Sting, that's where Sophie Garvin originally came from, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yes, so I think she was a player of the match in their grand final a couple of years ago, and that's when the Swifts picked her up. So really, we're talking about ANL in the Opens broadcast, but it really is a platform to push up into Super Netball. And just because you play for Western Australia doesn't mean you have to play for the Fever. You could be picked up anywhere. Yeah, exactly. And it is a platform that you are seeing and you are watching, you are scouted. And the same, watching the Premier League and, the SSM players are dropping back and getting some match play. So it's all exciting. All right, now the reason we mention the Canberra Giants, if you're on a Netball New South Wales broadcast each time, is that so many players from this Premier League feed into both Waratahs and the Giants, so it's relevant in that sense. Now, also just having a look at the bench, Jenny Webster giving some directions to her troops.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Like, she's going to recognise the fact that they lost that quarter 11-8. So for the Hawks, the first quarter they scored 14, the second quarter they only scored 8. So they're going to have to reassess what's happening there in their end. And I think there's probably a few changes with Coley and Stokes probably switching over positions. So we know that Coley can run out there at goal attack, and just giving them a bigger target at the back with Rhiannon Stokes.
Now I'm just having a look over at the Stingrays camp, and Nat Sligar was warming up. There's also someone else with a wing defence bib on too, so it looks like there's going to be some changes for them.
Yeah, so they've brought on different goal attack, and like you said earlier on, I think Shelby's played her half, so she's going to interchange with Natalie Sligar, who's just as great in the circle with her movement and a good shot, so it'll be interesting to watch her playing out there. The new wing defence, I'm not sure who they've brought on.
We'll have to do some more investigating into that, but definitely Nat Sligo is someone who has played New South Wales representation this year, and also an NSWIS scholarship holder. So she's also got a twin, which you mentioned is injured at the moment, but yeah, they look like they're set for big things.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's definitely a setback for Amy at the moment. But part of this is part of your learning and growing. So you're down to one arm. you've got a strong, still got a second arm. And you still got 2 legs. So for her, I think it's about making sure she does the right things in her rehab to get her back out of the court in the right conditions.
So I'm thinking that Claudia Perry might be the player about to come on in wing defence.
Yeah, I think they're just struggling slightly with the movement of Cullen, who is finding great space, great change of direction and good speed and getting to the circle edge in the feed. So I think Stingrays she's definitely one that Stingrays need to try and stop.
The other thing that's important with this Stingrays halftime chat is that Maria Lynch from the Opens, the head coach there, has been very heavily involved, and that was something that their coach Craig Marsh really wanted to enforce to me over the phone when we were chatting before this match, that they've made a really big effort this year at the Stingrays to train together. So they do strength together, they do fitness together, do court training together, and that means that if under 23s need to feed up into Opens, which is what the pathway should be, it's a seamless sort of crossover. It's not like two separate teams training and then going, can we borrow a player? And it's like you're in a totally different environment.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's very smart. And like you said, it does make the players feel comfortable. So everyone knows each other. So it's more fluid, the movement between the two teams.
3-2-1 Sting. I like it. And that was just the Hawks. We expected that too. So Hawks 22 lead the Stingrays 21. Just 1 goal different.
And also changed by the Hawks. They've pushed Clifton back to wing attack, and they've brought in a new centre.
So that's Chelsea Lockery. She's been with the Hawks for a long time.
Oh, that is great defensive pressure.
I've also just
from
noticed
Perry
that
coming on.
Coley and Stokes have done a switch, so now Stokes is back at goal shooter and Coley's come out into that goal attack position.
Just a little bit close in the instructions there. Let's see if Stingrays can bring the ball out through the court.
Gans to Heward-Bell. They find Slager. She's got a fake of her own. Lots of them going to be happening with Jom and Slager in the same. Oh, nice roll off the body. Just watching the back off play.
Yeah, great move by Slager. I think she just needs to finish off her leads. So she just probably needs to take one more step out of her move.
A foul with a throw in on the baseline into Wayne Boyle.
So that's good defensive pressure by Stingrays, just trying to get behind the players of the Hawks and keep them up the court, and that's a step. So turnover, good pressure from the attackers.
Yen says, give me the ball, it's mine. Cross court now, new players pass to each other. Sligo tries to go to John, but Coley's in the middle of it. Stingrays hang on to possession. Obstruction call. Heward Bell with the ball.
Yeah, so Larry's just going to have to adjust to the whistle of the umpire as she gets in and warms herself into the game.
Coolan steps in, overcooks the throw. Sligo keeps it in play, but it ends up with the Hawks. Lockery hanging on tight to the ball in the middle. There's a lot of passing being done in this mid-court. They have to reset in the goal third.
Yeah, both teams up in their defensive pressure through that mid-court, so slowing up the ball. So now it's a pass to 3 seconds call. That is good defence by Stingrays.
Just nice one-on-one.
Yeah, but all the teams are getting caught passing lateral, so a lot of left and right passes. So we need a bit more depth from the attackers. That's a great drive in by Sligo. Too far off the post, so she goes again. And great feed in by Yom. Colin gets a second attempt at it. And she finishes. So it's all neck and neck now.
22 apiece, you're right, Sonia. Very close here. And both of these sides had a win last week, I believe. Should probably check that before I give them both a wrap.
Just a bit more discipline from the Eastwood Ride team.
No,
Some of which the coach is telling them as well.
Stingrays didn't quite get a win last week, so this is interesting here that they're really pushing the Hawks.
Oh, just to misplace the ball. So again, great defensive pressure by Afoa to cause a turnover. So Hawks throw in. Afoa's had a great game defensively against Cullen. She's all over the body and putting the pressure on. Another 3 seconds call by Boyle. So she just can't see the defenders to get the ball out to.
That's big too, because you think about the keeper, right? They're right at the back. They're not involved much.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's shining just when it comes near her is a big thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Stingrays go one up, 23-22. We've got a ball game on our hands.
Oh, Clifton seems a bit injured. She's grimacing on her. Looks like she might have hurt her ankle or her calf.
Yeah, looks a bit ginger. Stokes straight in for that rebound. And Forward just delivering a message to Lane Boyle from the side of the court.
So maybe she's going to call a time or if to get an interception. No, it's a timeout call. So they're bringing on a new defender.
You called it, Sonia.
Yeah,
so Tavaga coming back on.
Yeah, and I thought Tavaga did a good job in the court. That's the court they actually won 14, was it 14-10? So it was interesting why they took her out. And Tavaga's straight back in there with an interception or a touch on the ball. Step, good pressure from Eastwood.
Well, Tavaga's a good height matchup for Sligo. They're pretty close there. Both strong bodies.
Yeah, she's had a bit of a rest on the side, so let's see what she does. So she's injecting her presence straight away.
Clifton to Coley, who's stuck outside, comes back to the transverse line to reset. Clifton pushing Lockery back. There's been a call though. Just at the top of the circle, yep.
Oh, just short, the shot. Coley didn't follow it. And Stokes was unable to hold it in. So good pressure again by Smith, and I think that was a good change by the Stingrays to bring Smith on.
Heward Bell. Moving up this mid-court. Oh no, mix up. Afoa straight on the loose crumbs.
She is on everything today. She's having a great game.
Lockley to Rodriguez. In the air, Clifton and Perry going at it. This time, Clifton does win the battle. Lockery to Coley, who's stuck in the pocket. She does seem to get a bit nervous when she hasn't got a player to get to next.
Yeah, I think she's wanting one of the players to get ball side for us, so, so it's an easier pass. That's a big shot by Stokes, but she'll get the throw in.
23 apiece. A chance for the Hawks to go one up here. Take back the lead they had. And Stokes emphasises the contact she's got from the back, now pulled up for obstruction, Smith. And they do go one in front. So we're toing and froing with the score here. 24-23 Hawks currently up.
And there's a pass, overcooked pass by Clifton at a crucial time in the game to push that lead out further. So they're going to be a big defensive effort from the Hawks at the moment. Let's see what they do.
Jans to Smith. Now Perry finds Heward Bell in the middle of the court. Sligo with a nice drive.
This is great defensive pressure from the wing defence of the Hawks. She is all over Tom. So Tom's have changed direction about 5-6 times, and the wing defence has been all over her.
Long way out. Sligo confident to put the shot up, and there's a reason for that. She's very talented.
Yeah, and just keeps the Stingrays in the game.
So that lady in the crowd had a blanket on, Sonia. I think we might need to bring one of those next week.
Yeah, where did she get that from? They've got a few.
You know how you go to some cafes and they've got them now?
We need
the Premier League should stock them.
And some heaters.
Yes.
Oh, just overcooked ball. So both teams putting themselves under pressure. They're playing a bit frantic at the moment, and both teams just need to settle, especially now the scores are even.
There's also not been a lot of free-flowing play once it gets into both of those circles. So there's been a lot of calls, a lot of contact, a lot of obstruction that's really slowing down the play. Oh, Stokes time's off.
Oh, well held by Stokes. Unlucky with that contact by Smith, so she's going to need this goal to settle it in. Smith is all over. I need to give her a bit more room.
Nice loopy shot.
And Stokes to even up the scores.
Heward Bell, John coming out. Oh, Sligo's calling for it at the back, but Afoa has other ideas.
Yeah, that wasn't... Sligo actually wasn't on for that. You know, she'd take a massive run to the back line. That's a big ball for Johns to pass in. So Sligo probably should have taken that front cut movement as opposed to the baseline run, which is where she feels more comfortable.
Ball back in the Hawks' possession. Tavaga to Coley, who's come out. She finds Lockery on the edge. Oh, straight to Rhiannon Stokes, who cops some contact from the back, but nails the shot and pushes the Hawks in front by 1.
And it's their centre pass. So Hawks now to solidify this. So being patient by the feeders. Great control and patience by Rhiannon Stokes, showing her experience.
That was really interesting then. So Coley didn't even come out for the centre pass. She was way back in the circle ready to go.
Yeah.
So just left Clifton as the only option.
Which is probably one of their set plays. And I think Clifton's so small and nippy that it's probably safe to do that. So Jenny Webster just getting into her players to make sure they set penalties. And take care of the ball, which I think is important because it has been a bit frantic currently. Great take by Sligo. Ball into Cullen.
Ball lost. Oh, kept in play, but it ends up in the hands of the Stingrays. Little tips here and there. And now Cullen takes the Stingrays back within 1, 27-26. That's important, Sonia, in this game. They need to stay level with the Hawks.
Yeah, smart set up of the centre pass by Coley and Clifton. And Coley literally dragging Clifton into position to set it up on the stack to open up the middle space. So well done by them. Very smart.
A lot of these players are very young too, so the fact they've got some smarts about them is good signs.
Oh, Cullen just getting caught behind a Foa. That's a good front cut by Natalie Sligo. Settles this shot. Let's see if she can get it in. Great shot.
Well done. 28-27, 5 minutes to play. In this third quarter, the championship quarter.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Stokes outside. Tavaga calling for it. She finds Lockery a closer option instead. Clifton also calling. Everyone wants the ball.
Yeah, and Stokes just looking for a closer shot under the post. So it's Coley's going to have to make herself more available. Stokes is doing a lot of work in there.
Up and over the top. Both of them driving forward, but Stokes a clear option.
Yeah, good drive to open up the defenders.
Jenny Webster just calling out, set it to Stokes. Misses, goes for the rebound. Lockery's there.
Oh, great pick up by Lockery and great feed to Stokes under the post.
She wins the foot race and it pulls Smith out with Stokes alone at the back. Hawks pushing out by 2. John loses the ball. It comes out of her hands and into a Foa's.
Yeah, again, another pick up by a Foa. So way to watch. Just the two attackers just got in each other's space. So that's what we spoke about earlier in regards to the vision of the players, to see your space and also see each other.
There's a lot of yelling being done from the Stingrays bench, just guiding the defenders. Doesn't matter though, the Hawks get another and they push out to 30 now. So the lead is 3. Remember, the Hawks led at 5 by 5 and had a little buffer at one stage of this match.
Yes.
Now it's been toing and froing.
So this is good defensive pressure from the Stingrays and holding the Hawks up, and they caused a turnover, so well played. Let's see if they can use it, capitalise and get the ball, get the goal back in, get the score back in within 2.
Jans,
Massive
strong
ball by
overhead
Jans.
to Slager.
She resets into Howard Bell. That's a big shot by Natty Sligo. Opts not to take it. Smart
It's
choice,
almost
we
like,
think.
yes, no. Let's get closer.
Yeah, and I think that was a good decision by her, because now she's right under the post, and there's a shot, and it's their centre pass. And that's what we talk about decision making, you know, in the heated moments.
Perry.
Good defensive pressure by Eastwood Ride, holding them up.
Jom to Slager. Coming back now. Jom hasn't got an option. She goes long to Coolin.
Again, playing it back. Very patient by the Stingrays. And Howard Bell getting to the top. That was a good pass. Nearly taken by the Eastwood Ride attack defenders.
And smart by Slager just to use those full 3 seconds. It looked like she was going to let the pass go a little early. And then as Heward Bell changed direction, I would have put off a better connection. Shot missed. Afoa with the throw in.
So again, Stingrays on the defensive end of the game. So let's see if they can get a turnover. Oh, great touch by Yoms, not followed up.
Great work in the air considering she's not super tall. I think that almost took out our camera there.
Yeah, that was good footwork by her.
1:30 to play before the final break of this match. The Hawks up by 2, 30-28.
Yeah, and again, penalty not set. Obstruction call against Howard Bell.
We've heard Jenny Webster and yourself refer to that a couple of times tonight, Sonia. What do you mean by penalty set?
So what's happening is girls getting caught up for penalties, and then they're not setting it where the umpire's directing them to, so they're taking it in the wrong positions or too quickly. So they've just got to wait for the defending player to get by their side, and just making sure they get some eye contact with the umpires to make sure this is where the penalty needs to be set.
Because I think you're probably right in that they're trying to just quickly move on with it, but as a result, they're pushed back to where it was originally anyway. So by the defence is reset, and
yeah,
you lose
exactly.
that opportunity.
So the Hawks out by 4 now, and a held ball. So that's great defensive pressure by the Hawks. They're just struggling to find Sligo currently. She's kind of running on the baseline. She's getting stuck behind the ball, but great interception by Sligo. Great feeding to Cohen. That's a big shot for Cohen, so she doesn't even look at the post. But as you see, both attackers again caught behind play.
Sligo
steps in.
Yep.
Oh, can't sell a shot. It's 2 shots she's missed. So again, they're on defense ends. That's back-to-back shots, which would have kept the team in the game.
And Afoa was doing really well then to hold Coolin off the rebound. So really using her strong body under the post. Oh, big throw. Goes through the hands of Smith, and that's the end of it for the third quarter. 32-28, the difference back to 4. And the Hawks leading the Stingrays. What do you make of that mess?
Yeah, it was definitely, I think the word for it was a bit frantic and messy for that quarter. And it was good for the Hawks to, I guess, they were the team that settled earlier, so they were able to maintain a 4-goal lead.
All right, so the difference for that quarter, 10-7. So quite low scoring too.
Yeah, and I think it was definitely because of the balls that were being lost through the mid-court, and both teams are very frantic, and so it definitely shows in the score.
All right, well, we're going to take a little break here in this final break of round 2 in the under-23s, and we'll come back to you with some more scores up on the other courts.
So I think Alex Bolton's gone on to wing defence, and Anna Narungay's gone on to wing attack for the East.
Coaching staff have just noticed that Afoa had something stuck to her back. Anyway, so it scores up on the other court. Sapphires lead the United 38-31. We've also got the Sparks way ahead of the Panthers, 49-23. They're coming first, so that'll be 2 from 2 for them. And then in the Heart and Fury game, Fury in front, 42-29. But back out on court here, the Hawks 32 lead the Stingrays 28, so 4.
So Hawks have brought on Laura Cook in goal attack, as well as Anna Narungay into the wing attack position. And they kept the back end the same. And Stingrays have just made a few changes. They've brought Alex Bolton back onto wing defence and pushed Lowry into the centre position.
So Perry's in that centre position.
Oh, is it Perry? And then Howard Bell's gone to wing attack.
Heward Bell, yes.
Heward Bell. Oh, stepping call.
Perry with the ball for the Stingrays. Looks to feed straight away to Sliger. Baseline shot. Rolls in. So the first goal in this final quarter for the Stingrays. What does it say that the Hawks have made 2 changes to that attacking front?
Yeah, I think they were struggling to get a bit of depth in there. So I think the change should be good. Anna Narungay's just moved across from GWS, and she's a great talented little wing attack. So it'll be interesting to see how she copes out there today. Again, just a rush shot by Stokes. So she just needs to slow down and take her time on that shot.
Smith taking the pass for the Stingrays. Now with Perry. Bolton to Sliger. They advance up the court.
Oh, that's a good ball by Sliger into Howard Bell.
Nice vision, seeing an option straight through the middle. Footwork call?
Yeah, coming in from off court, so Cullen's back foot was just out of court when she received that pass. So throwing goes to Afoa. Oh, and a contact call against Rowida. An obstruction. So both teams just need to settle down a little bit and just tidy up again with discipline.
Stingrays back within 3 and now a chance to make that 2. Lockery called up for her 3 feet.
Oh, good arms pressure, just couldn't use it. So Cullen with a long shot.
Sinks a great goal for the Stingrays.
Yeah, Stingrays back in within 2 and the crowd's getting loud now. Here they go.
Narungay out for that centre pass. Now it's with Stokes. Lockery, top of the circle. They come back to the pocket. Cook trying to find position. And Yans is caught up behind her. So Stokes with a free shot. Takes it herself, swish straight through and pushes the Hawks back out by 3. Strong out for the centre pass is Sliger.
Yeah, Hewett Bell's going on a very long run, so she just needs to stop and change direction as a wing attack. And Natalie Sliger just popped open at the last minute, so the fielder's just got to give her a little extra time.
Inside the goal third, Stingrays have it. Heward Bell waiting for Sliger to come through in front. Oh, nice work by Afoa. Saw it, wants it, brought it in, and now Hawks have another chance here.
So Stingrays again defensively need to kind of win this ball back. Still down by 3, so they've got a lot of work to do. So they're holding the Hawks up through this middle third again. A long ball into Stokes opens it back up.
Quick work, Narungay into Cook.
She can't nail a shot. Good box out and defensive pressure by Smith. So Smith's come on very strongly for the Stingrays. Let's hope they can capitalise it. And the ball's, saved.
This is the unpredictability of the 23s.
Yeah, they just need to settle. It's very erratic at the moment from both teams. So I think Stingrays playing catch-up just need to settle and look at the placement of their balls.
Interesting, too, that you're talking about settling in the 4th quarter. Like, this is the final passage of play, and we're still waiting for them to settle into the groove of things. Yeah,
and it is important. That's a held ball from Cullen, so no goal. So, again, Stingrays are back on the defensive end of things. So great hands pressure by Hewitt, but I think that's the advantage of having her out there at wing defense. Sorry, wing attack, because of the height.
Cook has come out for that pass. And now on the edge of the transverse line is Rowita. She goes to Stokes. They're stuck. Come back to reset. Lockery looking to go to Cook. She's still not really an option, but they make something of nothing. And now on the baseline. Oh, ball pops off. But she's got the rebounds.
Yeah, not any of the Stingray defenders up there to contest that. So, you've got to be in it to win it.
This time it pops in. So Hawks have taken back a 4 difference. Narungay to Lockery. Coming through at the back is Cook. Oh, if they were quick, then they could have got it to Stokes. Instead, she's founded it.
Yeah, and that was a great move by Rhiannon Stokes and good shot to finish it off. So that's a better passage of play by the Hawks attack end. Contact
call against Rowita. It's inside the goal third. Hewitt Bell to take it. Oh, Coolin's lost it. Bounces. Could have been a replay.
Yeah, that
isn't pulled up.
Yeah, a little sneaky bounce there. So again, they had no one to pass to. Slugger's just sitting on that baseline, getting tucked in behind the defenders. So she definitely needs to pop and present forward.
Cook, this time they're fast enough. She goes shooter to shooter, and Stokes just held up here. Smith, rather, you mentioned last quarter that she needs to give her more room on that penalty.
Yeah.
We'll leave the umpires to police that. Outside now is Coolin. Held ball twice now.
Yeah, there's been a couple of free seconds. So I think the Stingrays attackers are moving away from the ball carrier, so they actually can't get the feed in. So they're going to have to do their away movement first and then come in for an easier pass to help each other out.
Afoa steady at the back. She finds the skipper into Varga. Narawida finds Narungay. Lockery asking people to come forward. Stokes does that job, but she's right at the back, and now the mid-court are going to have to sort themselves out. Lockery finds Cook at the top.
Yeah, just a late defensive movement from Yance. Gets herself caught out of play.
Nice front cunt from Stokes, but the ball's gone over the back line, and Hawks will get it back.
Just needs to control that. So the circle now for the Hawks is more mobile, so the movement, but they're moving a bit too quickly, I think, for the feeders.
Oh, lovely loopy shot. Oh, and Stokes looks like she might have hurt her shoulder here.
So Naringa again just trying to find space in attack.
Strong pass to Cook. In the pocket now. Contest from behind. Bolton pulls up, and Stokes. Can she sink another? She can. So the Hawks 39 to 32. The difference now 7. This is really pushed out.
Yeah, and Stokes, she's really stepped up for the Hawks in this last quarter and her steadiness. She does seem to have injured her shoulder, so a bit of grimace there and movement of the hand. So we'll see how she progresses throughout the quarter.
Rungay back to Tavaga. Rodwiga to Lockery.
So this is good defensive pressure from the Stingrays.
Stuck in this back part of the court. Now they advance through Stokes. No look pass. Narungay to Stokes in the pocket. And Smith with the hands on Cook. Gets pulled up, allows her to have a free shot.
Yeah, and the defenders are just struggling a little bit with the movement of Cook and the timing of drives in and out of the circles. So they're going to have to adjust to that.
They were on the rebound though, so Stingrays have possession. Oh, wow, that was really lucky. Perry into Sliger.
Yeah, and that was very well read by Afoa. So she's still having a good game, a very good defensive head on her. So she's reading the game and the movement of the players very well.
Narungay has to come back. Tavaga around the body of Sliger finds Lockery. Again asking people to come forward, and it's a held ball. 39-33. There is a difference here. If the Hawks can keep their cool, the win's in the bag, Sonia.
Yeah. Definitely. Stingrays just need to settle their approach to the circle and just cause a bit more disruption and get some turnovers. So again, Stingrays sent a pass. So hopefully they're going to capitalise on this one. The Hawks defenders just marking each other and getting a bit of a mix-up there with Navaga.
Wow, swish from Sligo, no messing around. Takes the Stingrays back within 4. Overhead pass, Narungay to Stokes. Coming over closer to the circle now. There is so much movement in that circle, it's hard to keep track of who is the option.
Yes, Stokes seems more comfortable in the movement with Cook and well in by Smith, but it'll be the Hawks throw in.
Jenny Webster calling out ball side.
Yeah, again, just getting the players to come forward. A lot of them are running behind the defenders, so that's a good entry by Stokes and calls the contact. Massive step in, and the offload to Laura Cook under the post.
Less than 5 minutes of play in round 2 in the under-23s.
So the score out by 5, so see if Stingrays can pull it back again. This is great defensive pressure by Afoa.
So neither of the shooters were facing Hewitt Bell then. They were both either stuck behind or had her back to her. So that's not going to be helpful in the scheme of things.
Yeah, just getting caught out from being an option. So just a miss by Zoe Yance.
Ball won fair and square by Alex Bolton. Tippy toe on the edge of the circle.
Yeah, good pick up by Alex. And great attacking down court. Let's see if she can offload this ball.
Stepping call goes against the Stingrays. Chance goes wanting. This is tense.
Yeah, it is. You can feel the pressure from the girls playing the ball around. The Hawks just trying to be steady, so obstruction called on Alex Bolton. So let's see if the Hawks can capitalise on this. Patience. Stokes just hanging out of the circus. What she's trying to do is just draw. So now Laura is doubled, so she's come out, which means Stokes are now going to the circle. So they're just trying to split the defenders. And that's a good shot by Rhiannon Stokes. She's had a good, consistent game today.
Narungay coming out for that centre pass. Cook's challenge from behind. It means that Yans will be left way outside the circle. So 2 shooters here. What do the Hawks do? Cook comes out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Feeds to Stokes over the top.
A little grimace by Stokes.
And gingerly she takes the shot.
And rebound by Zoe Yance. So another opportunity for the Stingrays. And they move the ball quickly down court. But they seem to be just getting a bit stuck on this transverse line. So let's see if they can capitalise on this.
2 minutes 15. Nice work from Perry in the pocket. And there was a definite footwork error there from Sligo.
Another wasted opportunity by the Stingrays. So back on defence. And they've got great defensive pressure. So let's see if they can force the Hawks into a mistake.
Afoa over the top to Tavaga. Lockery coming through, finds Narungay. Cook draws a penalty. Yans caught outside. Lockery feeding to her at the back. And she'll finish the job. Hawks hit 42. They're now up by 7 with 1:30 to play. Tense times.
Yes, I think the Hawks have definitely sealed the game. So for the Stingrays, it's about just capitalising on their centre passes and just trying to close the gap between this scoreline at the moment. They've still got 1.5 minutes to do it. So this is good defensive pressure from the Hawks, just holding them up.
Perry feeding to Sligo at the back. Won't waste any time taking the shot. Pushing back within 6, the Stingrays 36. Just over 1 minute to play. Oh, footwork call on the centre pass. That's no good at all. Yans to Perry. Oh, they try to go long, but it meets the hands of Rowita. Sligo comes cross court to Hewitt Bell. Now it's with Coolin. Does she get the shot? Oh, pops in, pops out. Doesn't quite make it through the net.
Yeah, so they're just back on the defence again. Let's see if they can win the ball back. 40 seconds left to play.
Afoa to Tavaga all on her own. Rowita has the edge, races for it. Cook was there. She assists now. Up over into the pocket. Lockery finds Stokes. And she's a long way out, but she's going to put the shot up anyway. She'll get another chance here anyway. Nails it.
Yeah, good shot by Stokes.
Hewitt-Bell coming through. Ball comes over the top of Coolin.
Yeah, she's just going to hold on to it. Just a bit rushed and frantic, and they're going to run out of time.
Oh, nailed the shot, but it doesn't count. That's unfortunate for Nat Sliger and the Stingrays too. 43-36. The Hawks have got 2 wins under their belt tonight, the Opens and the under-23s.
Yeah, and that was a good battle, and I think the Hawks were able to pull away in that third quarter slightly and just held on and just kept pushing.
Especially because the difference actually was leaning in the way of the Stingrays that final quarter, 12-11. So 1 goal difference, but if you can get a lead early and hang on to it, Sonia, it's key in this matchup.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, you know, like we said, throughout the game, there was a lot of errors and a lot of frantic play. But, you know, it's under-23s, only round 2. So a lot of the teams are going to be settling in and the players getting used to each other, I guess, with all the movement. So I guess as the season progresses, we should see a bit more control through that midcourt.
Okay, now who is your player of the match?
I think it has to go to Anna Afoa. I think she did a great job defensively for the Hawks to keep them in the game. One of the smallest defenders in the circle, and she did a good job at isolating Cullen and marking her out of the game. And also, you know, they've changed in. They had Shelby in, and they also had Natalie Sligo, who are good attackers, and she did a good job of getting ball off them. So I definitely think she was my player of the match.
All right, well, we'll do our best to grab Anna Afoa out of this huddle with Jenny Webster, and we'll meet you in front of the camera. (43-36). The Hawks have got 2 wins tonight, now in the under-23s as well. And Anna Afoa, Sonia's player of the match, has joined us. Anna, you must be happy with that win.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm so blessed and thankful to have this opportunity, and thank you for choosing me as your player.
Yeah, you had a really good game. You're one of the shortest defenders inside the circle, and the fact that they kept rotating their attacking end and you were able to combat it, and you read the game really well, and it definitely showed in how you kept your team in the game.
Thank you.
How did that feel out there?
Felt good.
Yeah, why?
Because we worked hard. My players backed me up, and yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, good game.
You came up against a couple of shooters during the game. What was the most difficult about that? Did you have to reset when the new shooter came in?
Yeah, resetting and trying to figure out how she plays and her ranges and how she moves. And, yeah.
All right.
And you came out for lots of interceptions, so it was a good game by you, and well done to your team.
Thank you.
All right, now you get a week off now. What are you going to do with your Wednesday night?
I think we're training.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So still straight into the netball.
Yeah.
Well, good work tonight.
Thank you.
No worries at all. And as you just heard, there is a break next week, so no Premier League. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time with Sonia. She'll be back then too. Thanks for your company tonight.
Thank you.